are listening to Talking Hoosier Baseball,
a podcast
by fans from the iubase.com website.
For anyone wanting more information on the Indiana University baseball program.
Welcome. We are recording this on Thursday, October 29th, 2020. I'm Casty Palmer, your host this evening for our discussion with outfielder Hunter Jessee. I'm joined with the master of the likely irrelevant RPI, Carl James, and the creator of iubase.com, Josh Bennett. Carl did catch up with Coach Mercer this week for an update on fall workouts.
They're going really well. We're getting ready to go into our last 2 weeks of team practice. We're going to do a 7-game World Series this fall, which is a little bit different than we've done in the past. So we'll start that this week, get the teams drafted out, and we'll get that going. But it's been a good fall. You know, the guys right now are kind of in that period where they're a little bit tired and they're a little bit worn out, which is a good way to be after missing baseball for so long. I didn't think that you could be so excited to kind of be, you know, tuckered out from a long fall, but we're getting a lot better. The pitchers were really good this past weekend. The development of the changeup has been a really nice weapon for our staff over the course of the fall, and it kind of had our hitters on their heels. The hitters have been really good this fall for the most part. We've scored a lot of runs and hit for some power and done some really good things. And then this weekend, the pitchers made an adjustment and were able to throw the changeup a lot more. And I had a lot of guys come back to the dugout and asking, "Hey, Mercer, you know, what do you think about a changeup? You know, how do we go about this?" And I said, you know, the best way to hit a good changeup is to take it, right? So we got to be able to continue to learn and grow throughout the next 2 weeks. But I'm really happy with where we're at. Our defense is much improved. Our pitching staff looks very good and sharp. Offensively, we've taken several nice steps in the right direction. The newcomers have been very good. You know, Jacob Southern and a couple of those guys that have done a really nice job transitioning in. Morgan Colopy has had a really nice fall. So, you know, when you look at it here the next couple of weeks, we got to try to put all three phases of the game together and try to coalesce the team back into a really good unit. You know, it has been a little bit separated to a degree. It's a little harder to get the whole team together in one place in one time, obviously with some of the restrictions, but we're going to have a chance to do a lot of that these next 2 weeks and have a lot of fun playing some ball.
Among the returning players, who's made big strides from what you've seen?
You know, McCade Brown probably is the guy that comes to the forefront of my mind. He's just taking the next step that he needs to take. The ability to throw a fastball for a strike, right? Obviously, it's very basic and generic, but it's a separator when your fastball plays like McCade's fastball plays. And then his growth of an off-speed pitch, you know, the curveball is a plus pitch. The slider is very good, and the changeup's been very good. So I would say McCade is probably the guy that comes to my mind first as taking a real step in the right direction. Cole Barr has really improved himself defensively, offensively. I really like where he's at. He's worked really hard. We made a few offensive adjustments back to a little bit more like his sophomore year, where he hit for the power and it was a little bit more dynamic. I think his growth in this past season, the pitch recognition and just learning to manage at bats, I think will really benefit him. But putting him in more athletic positions allow his strength to carry him. Hunter Jessee's done a good job. I like where Hunter's at. He's made some really nice adjustments. He's settled in and can kind of manage himself. He's gained 20, 25 pounds, big and strong and looks good. So I would say probably those three guys come to my mind first.
We are going to try to include updates with Coach Mercer at least until the Fall World Series concludes. I will now pass it back to Cass for stats on Hunter Jessee.
Thank you, Carl. I did look at a few quick stats for Hunter from the shortened 2020 season. He did play in 14 games, including 12 starts out of those 14 games. He had a .256 batting average with a .385 on base percentage. But the thing that stuck out to me, especially for a guy just starting off in D1 baseball. He had 8 walks compared to just 7 strikeouts. I love seeing a guy come in and do that and draw more walks than he does strikeout in that first season. So that very much stood out to me. So welcome to the podcast, Hunter.
Thank you guys for having me. Good to be here.
All right, so Hunter, I'll get us started on our questions. Kings High School baseball has a great baseball tradition. So how was it playing for Coach McClung?
Coach McClung, great guy. I'd say his personality kind of changed throughout my 4 years there. My freshman year was a little bit more intense. Then as we kind of got on, my class especially just had like a good relationship with him. So it wasn't really like a coaching atmosphere. It was almost just like kind of like having an older friend that kind of knew a lot about baseball. So it was good 4 years there. Really enjoyed it.
So have you asked him to get into Coach Mercer's ear about helping you get an inning or two on the mound?
I have not, but I always enjoyed pitching. I just kind of like the 1v1, I guess, just kind of matchup thing. He never got into Mercer's ear about pitching. I wish though.
Yep. Well, after the Hoosiers' big football victory on Saturday, it's kind of fitting that we have a multi-sport athlete with us. So you played football at Kings. What were some of your favorite moments on the gridiron?
Some favorite moments I would say was probably my junior year. That was my last season there. There's like a window, like we had one of our receivers, he ended up getting hurt. And so I kind of became the main guy, and just kind of being that go-to guy for the quarterback was always a good thing. And then I played both offense and defense. So I really enjoyed football's a great game. Just kind of see who's tougher. So it was good.
So would you rather catch a touchdown on 4th down or break one up to get your team off on defense?
I definitely catch one. Definitely catch one. So.
And Ohio is a huge football state,
Mm-hmm.
but you chose to pursue your career in baseball. Why baseball? And was that a difficult choice?
Yeah, it was difficult. I had a little bit of looks at high school for football. Nothing like too big or anything. I was better at baseball. And it's a little bit safer than football. So my mom really enjoyed that. So baseball was definitely something I always wanted to do. My dad played in college. So I just kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps, do what he was doing. And I really enjoyed the game. So it's definitely the right choice for me.
So seeing Margot try to steal home on Kershaw during the World Series, did that remind you of the game against Mason you played in high school?
Yeah. That game was that was definitely like the highlight of my high school baseball career. At that time, they're like number 1 team in the state, and we just never beat them because they got a bunch to get to their school. So we just kind of game we play every year. We never really win. We got in a situation where we had a chance, and we noticed in the warm-ups he was throwing from the windup. So we talked to our coach. We were tied, and he just said, just go for it, because he wasn't sure if we were going to win in extras. So he just said, go for it. Luckily, the hitter didn't swing, slid in, called me safe, and everyone went crazy. It was a really cool moment for me.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the hitter didn't know you were coming?
It was kind of like a little bit, he kind of heard, he didn't know. No, he didn't know.
Man.
We just kind of, it was like a in the moment thing. He just went, and then the hitter actually saw me, and he just, I think he was trying to bunt maybe. I think he was trying to bunt. If he would have just got the bunt down, or if the pitcher would have just hit him, we wouldn't have won. But I don't know. The pitcher threw a wild pitch, and catcher had to go around the hitter, so I was safe.
So you originally committed to play at Louisville in July of 18, but ended up eventually committing to IU. So why the switch, and what went into you choosing Bloomington?
I would probably just say the schooling here. The Kelly, that's what I'm in Kelly right now. I'm not gonna play baseball for forever, so the schooling was really important for me. And then I actually played a fall tournament here. I think that same fall maybe. And I was familiar with Mercer just because from Wright State and everything. So I knew he had a good resume. He was going to come in there and do the right things. And as you can see, first year won the Big Ten. So I just had a good feeling about him. And then my parents just trusted me and trusted my decision. And I couldn't be more happier than where I am. So.
Hunter, you had that huge outfield assist against Ole Miss last season. Have you always played outfield when you weren't pitching?
Yeah, so I played center in high school, and then every once in a while a little bit of first. But yeah, I'm left-handed, so there's only like 3 positions I can actually play. So a little bit handicapped there. So yeah.
What goes into preparing to be able to make plays like that in the outfield?
It's just something. We practice every day. You just gotta go through your cut. It's like the main thing where it's hot here. You can't do anything with the ball if it's over your cut. If you go through the cut, hopefully it's on line. We play on turf here. Most places are turf. Ball's gonna bounce, and then if they need to cut it, they can cut it and get an easy out at another base if you go through your cut. So.
What can a player do to get better at throwing runners out, or even just keeping them from taking the extra base?
Just arm strength, and then I'd say you just gotta kind of. There's some guys you like in your pregame when you're watching guys throw from the outfield, you kind of get a tell of like, all right, this guy's got a good arm, this guy's not a good arm. So when you're in those situations, if you're at second base, you kind of know, all right, this guy's doesn't have a good arm. I can run on this guy, or this guy's got a cannon. I should probably just not run.
So Hunter, as I mentioned, you started 12 games your freshman season, so you were obviously pretty well prepared for that opportunity. Who helped you the most last season on the team as far as adapting to play outfield in D1 baseball?
I'd probably say G-Rich, so Grant. He kind of, when I got there, I was like his little brother, I guess. He kind of taught me a lot of everything, and then when I got in the game, just told me just do my thing. And then after my first hit, he was just really excited for me, and that was good to see. So I'd say G-Rich has definitely taught me the most here at IU. And then I would say hitting wise, I probably took the most away from Elijah. He was the best hitter I've ever seen. And he never did too much. And that was kind of always my problem, just trying to do too much. And when you watch Elijah, he could easily hit a pull side pump at any time he wanted to, but he always took the right approach to hitting, which kind of I was trying to learn as a freshman, and just took that away from Elijah hitting wise.
So Hunter, sticking with the hitting side of it, how would you describe your approach at the plate?
Well, last year, I was more kind of like a slap guy. Last year I wasn't really gonna hit any balls out of the park. My job was just kind of do whatever I need to do, just get on base for the most part. Try and use my speed to the best of my ability, and then just play really good defense and right. My approach last year was mostly just try to hit everything the opposite way, move the runners, and then if I needed to, pull a ball, and then again just play good defense.
So you were thrown right into the fire last season against some pretty big arms, and it didn't seem to cause you too much of a problem. What's something you do to focus during these high stress at bats that helped you deliver so many times just as a freshman?
I would probably just say just my preparation, going up to the plate, just getting my timing down. And then I would say the biggest thing was our scouting reports. I think we did a really good job as a team last year of knowing what a guy's best pitch was and where he was missing. That really helped me. yeah, I mean, I don't know. And I just like to compete. If you throw a guy that's throwing 95, I want to hit him. That's just my focus level just kind of intensifies when I know that there's someone really good on the mound.
So Coach Mercer included your name among players who have made big strides since the spring. What have you been working on in your development?
Biggest thing for me has just been getting stronger. Just trying to put on the right weight. That was my biggest thing during quarantine. Fixing my diet, getting stronger. And then I kind of got away from my simple approach last year with like no movement. Really just kind of like trying to find a barrel. I kind of switched away from that, and I'm just trying to be athletic with my swing now.
And off the field, what are you majoring in? You mentioned Kelly.
Yeah. So I'm majoring in finance right now through Cali. Yeah.
That can be a tough one, and scheduling wise for
Mhm.
classes, that can be tough too.
Yeah.
I've seen a few guys come through Kelly, and it's always impressive to me. What are you thinking about doing once your baseball career is eventually over?
So I really want to be in the FBI. My aunt and uncle are both in the FBI, and so it's just something I've always wanted to do. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's what I'll get a chance of doing after baseball.
That's cool.
So Hunter, what goals do you have for the 2021 baseball season?
I think that we have a really, really good chance to do something really special this year. I think the group of guys, it's just a special group of guys. We're all really good friends. We all get along great with each other. I think we're all have great mindset towards what we can be and what we can do throughout this season. I think this fall has been a really good fall for everyone. I think everyone's learned a lot, and we learned a lot about each other, and that we're all going to work hard and be there for each other when needed. So I think the sky's the limit for this team. I think we can do anything we kind of put our mind to, but we just got to stay focused and keep working hard, and we'll see where that gets us. But no real expectations, just kind of do our thing, and it'll take care of ourselves. It'll take care of it itself. I think we just have a really good team this year.
All right. So Hunter, being a South Lebanon guy, that's not too far away from Cincinnati. So I'm going to ask you probably the most important question you've been asked tonight. Gold Star or Skyline?
Skyline. I have I have a bunch of Skyline downstairs. I eat it probably 2 to 3 times a week. Skyline all the way.
Nice. Excellent. Good choice. Spaghetti or conies?
I always get both, but I'd probably go spaghetti.
If you would go coney, how many do you think you could smash in one setting?
In one sitting. My usual is like a full way with 3 conies.
Okay.
I'd probably say 6 to 10 in that range. Yeah.
You're young. You can handle that still.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Hart would approve of all of those answers as fellow Cincy guy.
Yeah, but I worked out with Kyle this summer. Great dude. So
that's cool. Yeah. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Talking Hoosier Baseball. We want to thank Hunter for coming on the show. Chris Feeney contributed many of the questions tonight. You can read up on Indiana baseball at iubase.com. Follow us on Twitter at CUAtTheBart and at IUBase17. On Instagram, it's IUBase, and you can subscribe to the Talking Hoosier Baseball channel on YouTube, which features these video podcasts, summer league game clips, game day media availabilities, and much, much more. For Carl James, Josh Bennett, and Hunter Jessee, I'm Casty Palmer. See you at the Bart.